Alrighty, so we are going to go over how to use a shot marker to actually measure groups when you are doing a test. Now, I've already been to the range. I have a file saved in here, but I wanted to show you what it looks like getting to the file and what we're going to do. So I have my access point turned on. I do not have any sensor hubs, which is why you can see that there is nothing up here when I tap on the sensor hub. So there's nothing connected. And that's fine. I don't need it. There's all these other targets down here. None of these are targets that I'm currently using, so I could actually come in here and hit hide unused targets. But honestly, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. This is just going to pop up again. What I care about doing is tapping on this upper right file folder, and then I am going to look for my tuner test today. So here is my tuner test. Now you can see that I chose to shoot all of my shots on a single target, and this covers a wide range of tuner settings. In the upper left corner here, which I'm going to show you how to put a box around. So you double tap, and that's going to put one of these boxes around the group, and I can move and make it bigger or smaller, and I can move this box around. Now, this one happens to be tuner setting 0. One of the great things about the shot marker is that if I double tap on the actual box there, I can name this and I could say like how about T0. Okay. So now it labels it as T0, and then I can come over here and make another box, and I could call this, oops, if you're not careful and you tap on a previous box, then it's going to do that to you. Now, see how there's nothing here in the box? It's just blank. I can now know that I can put T2 in here. Oops, T2. And I could keep going on and on. And now if I open up a box and let's say I put it there, and I did not know this until yesterday when one of my YouTube people commenting on my other shot marker told me how to get rid of these boxes because honestly, I've never figured out how to do it, and it's really the dumbest way. So you double tap on it and you just leave this blank and hit OK, and now that box disappears. Okay. But in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and put a box there, and then same thing, we're going to label this one as T4. Okay. And I could keep going on and on, labeling all of these groups. And then usually what I would do is after I've labeled all of these, I'm going to take a screenshot so I have a record of it in case I need to see what the data looks like. Now, really, what I care about is, so I'm going to make these disappear just to clean this up for the sake of this video here. And we're going to start with just a fresh box. And what I do is I typically make the box as big as all the groups, and then I just move it around, and you'll notice I can read the size, width, and height of the groups as I move it around. And what I'm looking for is on this tuner test, for instance, I'm looking for, kind of like a tuner node, if you will. And you can kind of see that there's a pretty good one right through here. Although the width gets a little wide here, the height is good. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. And then there's actually another one down here that I really liked, which was here, here, and here. And so what I did is knowing that follow with me here. This is tuner setting 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I went ahead and did a follow-up test at tuner setting 10, and then there's 12, 14, 16, 18, and that was between these three that I liked. So I did a follow-up at 10 and 18. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot and forgot to save my second target, but I just know that between the 10 and 18, 18 replicated itself very nicely, and so that is what I'm going to use tomorrow for my little mini match that I'm going to. And now you can do this with a seating depth test. You can do this with, any kind of test you're doing. I do it with ladder tests. There's any number of ways that you can utilize these settings. Now remember, if you watch my other videos, this box, when it's highlighting something, if I go to this upper left globe setting, there's the analysis, and there are different settings in here. So I can choose, um, any of these settings that I want along the analysis. I happen to just like size, height, and width. But if you wanted to add something, you certainly could. So that is how you are going to use a shot marker to evaluate any kind of grouping test that you have. And for me, it just makes it a no-brainer. And what's nice is I'll just give you kind of some insight here on the tuner test. Uh, if I took this, let's say this was my final load development, my finer tuner test, and then I went off to a match somewhere, by having this photo and then having the appropriate tuner numbers labeled and what the group sizes were, when I take a screenshot of that and I have it with me, if for some reason I need to make an adjustment, I would know whether to move my tuner down or move my tuner up from any given setting here. So a good example of that is down here. I chose tuner setting 18, which is this one. Now, if you look to the left, it goes vertical. If you go to the right, it goes horizontal. So I know that if 18 doesn't work perfectly, I could go 19 and 20 and get a good result somewhere in there, which is more important than going down, which was going to get me more vertical. So somewhere in this 18 to 20 range, and 19 might actually be a better number, but somewhere in this range is what I want. But by having a visual record of that, I don't have to guess. So hope this helps. I'll keep putting out some more shot marker videos and hope it lets you fully utilize what this thing's capable of. Have a good one. Talk to you later.